Hello all. Today, myself Sushmita Das, Assistant Professor of Law in School of Law and Legal Studies, Sage University, Bhopal. Today we'll be discussing trespass in law of torts. What is trespass? It is an interference with another's belonging without their permission. It is known as trespass, as no one like unnecessary interference, whether it be their body or it can be a property. No one like interference. And without interference and without their permission, if you're entering into someone's property or their body, that is termed as trespass. The literal meaning of the word trespass in which means that someone's land or property, if you're entering without their permission, it is known as trespass. Next, that is, there are two types of trespass. One is the civil trespass, and another one is criminal trespass. In civil trespass, that the enforcement of the law is to be done by a private individual. That is, in civil cases, a private individual can file a lawsuit. And it's very simple that if you are roaming around unintentionally here, the intention doesn't matter a lot. So if you are unintentionally entering into someone's property without their permission would come into under a civil trespass. For example, a girl inside her car and suddenly a boy walks in the car and sat down without her permission. In this case, it is a civil trespass. Another one is criminal trespass. This is defined under section 441 of the Indian Penal Code, that is, which is defined entering into a property that is in someone else's possession with malicious intention to create an offense, which is termed as a criminal trespass. So, in criminal, that is punishable under IPC, that is Indian Penal Code of 1860. And the punishment for criminal trespass is given 3 months or fine, which may be extended to 500 rupees or both. Trespass to person. So there are various kinds of trespass. Like first, trespass to person, trespass to land. So you should understand each and every category of trespass in detail. So when it is a trespass to person, it will be like assault, battery, false imprisonment. So you have to understand and differentiate the meaning. What is the difference between assault, battery, false imprisonment? So these all are considered as trespass under the trespass to person. Next is the trespass to property. When it becomes trespass to the property, it means when property in literal means anything, whether it can be land. Land is a immovable property, building, car, house, etc., over which someone has a legal title that is called a property. So, trespass to the property arise when there is an interference with any tangible or intangible object which is under someone else's possession without any lawful justification is termed as trespass to property. For example, a guy entered into a girl land and broke his window so that this is trespass to property committed by that guy. Trespass to property can be subcategorized. There can be trespass to animal, trespass to movable property, trespass to immovable property, like land, building, car. Car is a movable property. So there are various kinds of trespass. Trespass to land. Trespass is direct interference with possession of enjoyment of the land of another. Interference could be by a person himself or by some other material object. So there is a landmark case also, Kelson versus Imperial Tobacco. And there are certain defenses also in trespass to land. If someone is already having a license, then another legal maxim, that is just Terry, which means it refers to a situation where the defendant can prove that land is not possessed by the plaintiff but by the third party. So you need to prove. Next defend is the necessity. So if there is a necessity, then there is a trespass to land. Next one is the trespass to goods. Whenever there is an unintentional interference of goods that are in someone else's possession without any lawful justification. So when you do not have any lawful justification, that is trespass to goods. The essential. That is, first it should be like interference with someone else's good. Trespass to, now you are interfering into someone else's goods without the lawful justification. Now you do not have any justification, lawful justification to explain your statement. For example, a guy poisoned a girl's cat, so that will be a trespass to goods. And there can be many more examples to this. Thank you.